Welcome to Anchored at Harbor Park CrossFit, a show dedicated to helping you find enrichment for the other 23 hours of your day outside of the gym. Here's your hosts, Jason, Dave, and Corian.
See, it's starting now.
Episode 5. We're live. Happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter.
Did you guys get Easter baskets full of chocolate?
No.
I did not.
Sorry.
I just want the chocolate, really. Episode 5 is brought to you by Greater Than. I ran into my buddy Craig, who gave us a case to try. I decided, what the heck, let's try it. We're going to sample them for you guys. So what one should we start? We got 3 flavors here.
We got, looks like orange mango,
You know that's the one I'm going for.
tropical medley, and grapevine.
All right, so Greater Than sports drink. The label is clean hydration. Their tag is 1/2 the sugar and 2 times the electrolytes versus the artificial stuff. So it's a better option than like a Gatorade or other sugary drink.
Yeah.
Let's start with the orange mango.
Can I start and end with this one? Because anything mango is my favorite.
That is fine by me. Tropical. I would like that on a nice hot day down by the water. You know, if you're not trying to drink any beer or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I think that orange really sticks out, so.
I think Coach Blair really likes these.
Yeah.
I do believe he does as well.
This is coconut
That's why I brought
water,
them
right?
here, not home, because he would drink them.
It's coconut water, right?
The tropical medley is very good.
So the orange one doesn't taste very coconutty, so I'm happy about that. I don't do coconut very well. We're going to keep that close by. You did the tropical medley?
Ooh, is
I like
that mango
that
there, or no?
No.
The orange is in this one. Oh, that pineapple, duh.
Yeah, that one had the
Well, that's
pineapple, and I
Jason
think
knows
I
his fruits.
tasted the orange on that one. I'm going with the grapevine, next.
Grapevine.
I mean, I could drink this one, but
Ooh, the
I
grape is very good.
like the orange
I like the
better.
grape. It's not my favorite. I enjoy the tropical and the orange the best, but all 3 of them are very
Yeah,
good.
I do enjoy them all.
All right.
And then if you're wondering for nutrition, 50 calories per container, no fat, no protein, 13 grams of total carbohydrate.
But initially, like, I can taste the coconut water, and then then the taste comes, and it's exactly like grape Kool-Aid.
Yeah, yep.
Like
Yeah, I enjoyed
100%.
them. Pretty good.
Good
Brought me
stuff.
back to my childhood. I was like, whoa.
I think if you could mix this with it's supposed to be, I think, a post-workout recovery.
Yeah.
With protein in there.
Yeah, it gives you hydration as well, and it repairs the electrolytes. You're going to sweat out.
Which
Very
one's your
good.
favorite?
I like the tropical.
Orange mango.
You know, I don't really know. I'm not good at picking out differences. I enjoy them all.
They were all good. I mean, I enjoyed
Yeah.
them all.
It's such an equal opportunity.
I mean, if someone says the differences in wine, oh, this one is nutty versus whatever, I can't tell that stuff.
Yeah,
You
that's a
don't
little
have a
hard.
very
I don't have a
advanced-
distinguished palate.
Yeah.
No. I just know what I enjoy and what I don't. So, well, thank you, Greater Than. We enjoyed them.
Yeah, very good. And we have another special announcement is I think finally we might have fixed my microphone issue.
Ooh,
Yeah.
upgrade.
Instead of being the one that's all everybody's like, I can barely hear you, I think we may have found the
Maybe.
solution. So obviously I've got the little Death Star in front of me, so if you're watching this,
If you're not watching, you're missing out.
yeah, this is like the Luke Skywalker type
The little balls
droid
that shoot
thing.
the beams.
Yeah, that he was lightsaber wars with, or
It
like
does look
practicing.
very much advanced compared to ours.
I actually missed my other one. It's getting reprogrammed, so we'll see. But,
I lost my flower, so does anybody know where
Yeah,
it
it's
went?
over by the
It came out and brought it out with it.
it's over by
Maybe
the
just
cabinet
fell.
over there.
Might
Oh
be
yeah,
effective.
it's over there.
All right,
Should we
let's get going.
We're only like 10 minutes in, right?
4 minutes. We're 4 minutes.
Okay, so we didn't do an icebreaker.
The icebreaker was the Greater Than this time.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. So episode 5 is going to be a little open review. We just got done with the open, and we've talked about it a lot with our members. Talking about goal sessions and really taking advantage of what we learned over the open. So the first thing we want to talk about is actually celebrating the achievement.
Absolutely.
There's so much, maybe you got your first muscle up, or you got your double unders, or you got pull-ups or handstand push-up, whatever it is, or just finishing the dang thing is an achievement on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or signing up and doing it.
Yeah, I think on Saturday, when we finished our Saturday Under the Lights, I asked people, I said, so I know there's a lot of you that had a lot of questions leading up to this and didn't quite understand how it worked. Does everybody get it now? And they're like, absolutely. We're so glad we signed up for it. And we had a lot of people join in throughout the few weeks that we had it. So I was excited to see all that and excited to see them next year be able to tell everybody and get them all hyped up.
Mm-hmm. I think the coolest thing was the Thursday night throwdowns.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun.
Yeah, a lot of people excited. I didn't expect that many people to show up on a Thursday night.
Yeah, that was kind of a last minute kind of idea we came up with, and I think it went over really well. I'm excited to see how we can expand on it next year, especially with the new facility coming.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be pretty sweet.
Any achievements stand out in your mind right now, either personally or otherwise?
I can do both. Personally, for me, I think that, going into this one, I was a little worried because the past 3 that I've done, I felt like every workout was the worst workout I've ever done, and it really, really hurt. Mm-hmm. And I was ready to die at the end of each workout. But then this year was it was done and it hurt, but I was like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. But I just went into it with a different mindset before every workout. So that's probably a big thing of it, as opposed to last year. I know that I was like, this is gonna suck.
Right, just that healthy mindset going into it.
Yeah. Whereas this time I was just like, I'm just gonna have fun with it.
Right, enjoyed it more.
And then for athlete-wise, I think watching people, like you said, get their first, really practice all year and then get their first handstand push-ups was awesome. I think we had one person finally get their first muscle up, and then chest to bar consistently for a couple people.
Yep.
That was pretty awesome to watch. And then just listening to the people cheering them on because they got their first one.
Yeah, that was
cool.
obviously I didn't have a personal achievement because I couldn't participate this year. But watching the community come together and people hung out for 3-4 hours when they didn't have to on a Saturday just to make sure everyone had someone to cheer or had someone cheering them on. Even like that first week, there was 2 people. Mm-hmm. 4 hours later going and everyone hung around. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I love watching the community. I guess I can't say that enough. That's my favorite part. And I told someone afterwards, the best part about being a coach and a box owner is that you're always getting to relive those first through your members. Like you said, all those people that got their first muscle up, Maggie doing her first full push-ups and first handstand push-ups, all that stuff, that joy, that excitement, because you forget that, at some point you get all those things or close to getting all those and you don't get first very often anymore. Mm-hmm. And so you're always looking for that, and then getting to live it through them is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, so. I agree. Jason, obviously you sat on the sideline, so you get to watch a lot. You didn't have a personal one, but you get to watch a lot of people as we went. What do you think was the best moment this past 5 weeks?
I think it was watching a lot of people push past what I thought they were capable of and what they thought they were capable of. A lot of it came on the Thursday nights. Yeah. When obviously there was an electric atmosphere and people were really pushing everyone on. I talked a lot about whether you should RX or not, and typically I erred on the side of not RXing if you weren't really confident, and a lot of people went for it and some of the workouts and did a lot better than what we thought of, or what we thought they could do, which is great to see.
That's funny that you said that you erred on the side of caution and I'm like, go for it, do it. You're never going to have this opportunity again.
It is the competition of the year for most people. So
when I explain to people, I'm like, what is your goal in the open? If your goal is to have a great workout, go ahead and scale so that you can get as many reps and have fun and get a lung burner or whatever. If your goal is to see where you truly stand right now and what you're going to need to improve on for this next year or whatever, then I would say RX it.
I think my mindset definitely shifted watching people push themselves. So that was cool.
We're always living and learning too.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. So celebrate what you did. 5 weeks, assuming you finished. Mm-hmm. It was 5 very hard tests. You guys pushed yourself really hard, learned a lot, and that's kind of the next step is don't just forget about it.
Nope.
Right? We have 5 tests. Remember, when they make these workouts, they're tests. They want to test you at a specific movement. So the first one was your aerobic capacity, how long you could keep pushing when it got really sucky.
Yep.
For 20 minutes. The second one was the complete opposite. How hard could you push really, really fast, really, really hard? And then the third was gymnastics. The fourth was...
The repeat.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No.
That was the fifth. The fourth
yeah, that's
was
right.
The fourth was Diane. So that was
Diane.
just a classic benchmark.
Yep.
with a twist.
Yeah, so heavy and fast, and you got to just go, go, go. And then kind of same for the fifth one. So step one in learning is review.
Yep.
And we've talked about this on the coach's corner. We said come in, get a goal session, go over your performances. So what I did with Robert last week is because he videotaped all his workouts, we actually put them on YouTube and watched them. So for example, for 18.1, we watched it. We very carefully watched what we did. I wrote his splits down, looked at them. And what we identified is obviously Robert's very good. He has very efficient movement, all that stuff. So there's nothing in his movements. There's a little thing we want to tweak on the dumbbell stuff, but that wasn't a big deal in the workout. Mm-hmm. We noticed pretty much the whole workout, he was at right about a minute 45 pace per round. Mm-hmm. And the last 2 rounds fell to, I think it was a minute 55. So it doesn't seem much, it's only 10 seconds a round. But if you do the math, what if he kept his minute 45, mm-hmm. the spots he would have gotten from the few extra reps would have been a couple hundred spots.
Yeah.
So, and then, he said he realized he just passed the person he was going against during the open or during the workout. And then he said, I kind of coasted after that because I passed them.
Yeah.
So we identified, that's a mentality thing. That's a killer attitude. Okay, last 3 minutes, we got to go.
Yeah.
So that's a very real thing of something we have to improve upon in the next year.
So, and I think that's great. So, I think that some people need to have that perspective and they need to review when they're on the more competitive side. And you're not looking at it negatively. You're not mad or frustrated. You're looking at it as an objective, how can I get better?
Right.
So never be frustrated about it.
And I should clarify, the mindset stuff is probably not for most people.
Yeah.
That's for, Blair and Robert because they have all the other stuff down. Mm-hmm. For most people, probably the biggest theme would be, okay, toes to bars were hard, pull-ups were hard, handstand or push-ups. Well, what's really the biggest connector between all those things? For most, maybe weight, maybe the biggest mover would be if you lost 15 pounds, all those things would be a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gymnastics is big on that.
Or it could be just your endurance,
Yeah.
So when I sit down with people, I kind of try to connect dots. Because usually it's not just one, it's not I'm bad at a toasted bar. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's probably something that can help with a bunch of things that we can figure out.
Yeah, I was working with someone this last week up in Racine, and he's super lean, definitely strong, and he has a hard time holding a front rack position. And then I was asking him, I was like, how is your toes to bar? And I asked him after the workout, and he was like, well, I can do them, but they're pretty much strict. He's just hanging from the bar and bringing his legs up. No lat engagement. For him, it's now the next step. He doesn't need to lose weight or lose body fat. He has no lat strength, which then he can't hold that front rack as he squats down. So it all kind of goes together. So like you said, it's just connecting those dots. First one is always nutrition.
Yep.
And then we move forward from there.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
So obviously we're going to pitch this again because unless you've been doing this for 2-3 years, you want to sit down with someone who knows what they're doing. So schedule a goal session, we'll review. Then after we figure out what the 5, so I like to look at each workout, write down the 5 or the single most significant weakness in each workout. And then I like to boil that down into 3 overarching things. So maybe it's nutrition, maybe endurance, and maybe it's like the lat strength.
Yep.
Or it could be like barbell efficiency or something like that.
Yeah, and technique.
Then we plan. Okay. So it's figuring out how we can, starting whenever, maybe it's this tomorrow or whenever your training is going to restart, incorporating these things to improve those weaknesses. Okay, because obviously we don't want to identify them and do nothing about them.
Yeah. Yesterday we did NATE as our workout, and it was supposed to be strict if we could. I did not make it very long doing strict NATE. So my goal for that workout, because my gymnastics, especially my handstand push-ups, are not where they should be, with I think the standard that they changed it to, I think is better, because it gives you, you have to be perfect in your handstand push-up, which I think is great. So that whole entire workout was slower for me. I definitely didn't get a PR, but I tried to make sure that each one of my muscle-ups, each one of my kipping handstand push-ups was as better than the last one. I didn't let myself deteriorate and take half reps or whatever, because that's not going to get me better for next year. I slowed down and I focused on how to make that rep better.
And so that would get into our final step here. So it's review, plan, and then attack. And by attack, I don't mean 100% every single day. What I mean by attack is, whatever you make that game plan to be, follow it precisely. So if it's improved positioning on a handstand push-up, that means you're going to slow down a little bit. Your reps are going to be a little bit slower so that you can hit those perfect spots.
Definitely. And it's same with nutrition. If you have a nutrition that you're working on, what do you need to do that day to work towards your nutrition goal? And, whether that's you got to go grocery shopping today to meal prep for the week, or you need to make sure that you're packing your lunches and bringing them and not forgetting them on your counter.
Yeah, I think a lot of the attack, maybe people get in their mind a little bit about, okay, the Open's over, now I'm going to start training for next year. They don't go with a plan of attack. All of a sudden they think okay, and I've heard it from a few members, I'm going to go into every competition I can throughout the summer, because that's going to prepare me, I feel, for the next Open next year, because, it's multiple workouts. So I'm going to do a one competition every month. The other one is, I'm just going to up how much workout I do, and I'm going to try to go to the gym 3 times a day, and realistically, that's not necessarily doing what you're talking about here. You're just saying, you haven't identified your weaknesses, something's wrong, but you're just going to up your intent, just up as much workout as you can. And sometimes we say, just because you're doing more doesn't mean you're actually fixing yourself.
Exactly.
So you have to spend time on the weaknesses.
So imagine let me create this example on the fly, so hopefully it's a good one. Imagine you don't have a map, you're just running through the woods. Okay. And then after 2 hours, you get tired, you stop, and you have no idea where you are. You find one of those boards. You find one of the boards that say you are here, and you're like, holy cow, I didn't go anywhere. Right. It doesn't matter how hard you run if you don't know how to get there. So if you come in here and you do 3 hours of working out a day, or you do a competition every weekend, not really focusing on anything, those weaknesses are never going to improve. So that's like just finding a board. You're going to test yourself at some point, and you're not going to have gotten any better. And you're going to be pissed off, you're going to be frustrated. You're like, I put in all this work and it's not showing. And you're just going to burn out.
Right.
Yeah, I had a newer member, not even talking about competing, felt that she was confused by doing the clean, and she was like, I'm going to get a PVC pipe, I'm going to do this at home all the time. I was like, no, don't do that, because what's going to happen is you've got no one there guiding you on if that's a good rep or not, and all you're going to do is ingrain bad habits, and then we're going to have to deconstruct it and build it back up. So don't worry, you'll learn here. And I feel like, that's what you're doing with these competitions. If you're not, and working out, extra hours a day, if you're not actually identifying how to get better at that movement or at the thing that you're trying to do, you're just ingraining bad habits, and it's going to go in the opposite direction.
Blair does 2, maybe 3 competitions a year outside of the Open.
Yeah, and it's, maybe people get confused because they see Coach Robert or Coach Blair and, Coach Corian, Coach Miranda, they're doing a lot of extra work. They're doing, a lot besides just a WOD. Like yesterday, it was a 1-rep max snatch, 1-rep max clean and jerk. Then we did strict Nate, and then after that it was farmer carries. A lot of people don't understand that, this is their 4th year doing this. So to them, the volume isn't as much of an issue, but it's also working, when you're doing the 1-rep max snatch, they're trying to make sure it's perfect, so a lot of it was technique based.
And also, you're not just doing a 1-rep max, you're using it as part of a plan to see where you are so that you can work on it, and then you're going to work on it for a period of time and then retest it. Yeah. So it's not like, I'm just going to max out today.
And this goes back to what you said about recording and looking at it. I recorded all of my lifts, even the lightweight ones, because I've got something that I'm working on that I know is a problem, and I needed to see how it was going. If anybody saw my Instagram, I posted, I missed reps that were 5 pounds under my maxes, and for most people, that's a bad day, they would think. But for me, it's not, because I'm just trying to get my hip to move and get my foot to do what it needs to do, which it's finally starting to. And so that for me was a win under heavy load, that I was able to start getting it there. So I'm like, that was the point of me working out yesterday, not to get a new PR.
Yeah, and so before the Open, my shoulders weren't feeling the greatest. Robert identified something, Coach Robert identified something in my lift. Excuse me. He saw me doing an overhead squat and just mentioned something about my shoulder. So I looked into it, recorded myself, like Corian said, noticed that there was a deficiency in my left side versus my right, and then I spent I'm still doing it, spend 3 months now of at least, I was doing 3 days a week, now I'm doing at least 1 day a week of just a shoulder, like a regime that I do for my shoulders. I do 6 different exercises, and then yesterday with the clean and jerk and the snatch was the first time I got under 190, didn't stand up with it, but I got under 190 4 times, which is be a PR if I lifted it. And it was the first time that it wasn't bothering my shoulders. My shoulders felt strong. There was just some other technical things that I need to work on with the snatch, but I was like, that was a win for me. That felt good, but I spent time working on that deficiency.
Right. So you guys are identifying things other than the actual outcome of the lift. So it's not whether the lift was successful or not. I mean, that is important, but there's other underlying things that you're still working on that you identified as victories.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I would go back to our mindset talk.
Yeah. And I think that, like Dave said, watching coaches or some of those competitive athletes who appear to be doing a lot of volume, I try to tell people, if you look at, like he said, only one of that was an actual workout. One of those. And again, we all didn't go into it of getting a PR on that workout. It's how can we make these better? So there's still a lot of volume, but there's a lot, it's not always intense. And it's working minute. I mean, you guys all see people who are just doing shoulder stability things and core workouts and tall snatches, or, pausing in their squats. So the intensity's not there. Then they're working on those minute little.
Yeah, and that's, again, the confusion of just, like we said, Jason's analogy of running through the woods.
Yeah.
You got to have a plan of attack. Sometimes you need some outside perspective to kind of show you the way a little bit, and a goal session is a perfect way to do that, because now you have a coach who can kind of talk you through those processes and say, okay, well, this is what I'm hearing you say, and here's what we can do to improve that, give you some guidance on things you can work on.
I know we post it on MindBody, but I know that some of our schedules are a little mixed up right now with us kind of taking over some extra hours. But when do you guys do your goal sessions? Because I just had someone ask me this past weekend, he wants to do one and sit down.
So I am every morning in Racine, 9 a.m. to noon, and then Monday, Wednesday evenings in Kenosha. I think about 4:30 to really when it's 7:30 probably. And then same thing, like 4:30 to 7:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays in Racine.
Awesome.
And I think I have a little availability in Kenosha Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
I have to update mine, but I'm usually Mondays evenings in Racine, and then Kenosha I have Friday evenings.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'm doing I'm in Racine most days, assistant coaching, or taking consults. So right now I have pretty much Tuesday afternoons. I can do them in between coaching. Fridays, I think I'm up there.
Yeah, I think you have Fridays.
Fridays now this month, so I'll be up in Racine. So I'm not in Kenosha too much right now, and then obviously if that schedule doesn't work for anybody, shoot us a message and we'll figure it out and we'll get you in.
We're
for
pretty
sure.
open. We want to help you guys. So,
Yep.
otherwise, I think that's keep it short and sweet today.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
Easter. I
It's
think
Easter.
that's podcast.
You're dressed all nice. I'm in sweats.
Yeah, I got
got his
family
salmon.
lunch and then family dinner.
His salmon-colored shirt.
I figured I couldn't do like a maroon or anything.
It's very Easter color.
Right. Yeah.
I want food.
So, in review, or in wrap up, celebrate the achievements from your Open, big or small, it's all important. Don't push the good stuff away because there's some bad stuff. We have to enjoy the process. We have to enjoy what we're doing first and foremost. So be excited about what you did, but then let's learn from it as well. Review, plan, and then attack.
I like it.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Greater Than, for the drinks.
Very tasty.
Thanks for listening to Anchored at Harbor Park CrossFit. If you would like further information about our programs, visit www.harborparkcrossfit.com. We hope you'll tune in next time.